point. See you there. I'm Martin from AMS Performance. You've caught me at a very special time. We're doing some custom mods on this 2015 Nissan Sentra, the newest in technology. We're gonna make some serious horsepower today on the Mustang dyno. You guys ready? We're gonna do a baseline right now and see what this beast puts down. Alright, so here are the results. 160 wheel horsepower and almost 155 pounds of torque. Pretty awesome. Not so much actually. So next round of mods are going to be a supercharger, built engine, intake, and exhaust. And let's see what this bad boy does. The run is complete, and let's look at the graph. We're making about 410 at the wheels and almost 360 foot-pounds of torque. So you can see the boost kicks in right away, so he makes a ton of power. It's really fun on the street. All right, now we've built the engine, high compression pistons, and almost 30 pounds of boost. Let's do it. Well, it took a lot of work because the tires kept spinning on the dyno, so we had to heat them up, put on slicks, and strap it down really hard because it's making so much power and torque. And let's see what it actually did. About 660 wheel horsepower, 560 foot-pounds of torque. And that's at 20 pounds of boost on race gas on the 2018 Nissan Sentra. So the results of our 2 rounds of modifications made considerable gains. The bigger turbo and race gas made a really huge improvement in power. In reality though, it's obvious this car never left the dyno. We shot this video in about 15 minutes, and the huge gains were simply made by adjusting settings in the Mustang dyno software. Under dyno parameters, there are many settings that can drastically impact the horsepower readings. To get the results you've witnessed today, we adjusted things like parasitic loss, roller weight, and a bunch of other settings that significantly changed the readings. We were able to take a 160 wheel horsepower car and skew the numbers by 500 wheel horsepower with just a couple of keystrokes. You can clearly make this dyno read whatever you want. Probably the biggest discrepancy found when using this dyno, however, is something that is done on accident. It is simply an inconsistency when setting up the calibration-based RPM. On the Mustang dyno, the ignition pickup doesn't always work, and especially on high horsepower applications. This forces the user to almost always use what's called a calibration-based RPM sync procedure. To do this, the car must run and be held at a certain RPM while the computer calibrates. This was done at 4,000 RPM in our video. The problem with this method is recalibration has to be done each time the car is put back on the dyno. Let's say you baseline your car, then take it off the dyno to install your next round of modifications. When you put your car back on the dyno and calibrate, the sync is off just by 50 to 100 RPM. That is enough to throw results off by a few percent. So dynoing a 900 to 1000 horsepower car, you could see a 20 wheel horsepower difference completely by accident. The purpose of this video is not to say that people are purposely changing numbers or that a Mustang dyno is no good. It just shows that numbers on a Mustang dyno cannot really be compared because each dyno can be calibrated differently. It is still a very useful tool for tuning cars and does this job well. For testing before and after results or internet bragging rights, however, it's not an accurate source for horsepower numbers.